Hey lettering babes, welcome back to According to Allie. Okay, so hopefully you caught the last video. That was this current week that we're on, and now I'm going to show you next week so that you guys already see what it's going to look like or how you want to copy before you start next week. So this was the previous video, D through J. Let's keep going. E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Ooh, K is not easy. I don't think it is. K is an interesting one. Again, it's a lot like the D when we started with the other video, where you have the leg like the H or whatever, and where you start the next part makes a big difference in the look. So again, like the H, you're gonna go up and down, and now here, this weird capital R part, even though it's a K, is where it gets funky. Again, my preference, I really like to start back at the bottom, and then we do a loop. You come up to the midline, then back down, and then you come back where it meets, and you just have your little tail to connect. There we go. Yes, that's a K. Isn't that a funky guy? Okay, so let's get a little more fun with the big top loop and a little more angle. That's fun. Let me show you if you don't start at the bottom again. If that's what you prefer, you can start up here. Oop, bled a little. More traditional look if that's your jam. Or with the more casual, like I've shown, you don't have to do that top loop at all if you don't want. And it doesn't need to come all the way down if you don't want. Do what you want. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. L is pretty simple. L is a lot like E, but you can still make it look pretty different. So we'll start down here. A nice skinny, pretty L. Remember, thin upstroke, thick downstroke. I have new pens on the way. Mine are getting old. They last a pretty long while. I think I buy it a few times. I buy them a few times a year, but I use them up. Like, I use them a lot, so. Or you could do a big fat L. Ooh, the thinness was not there. Let's try that one again. That's better. I dig it. Or again, no loop. You can just go like this. L. Okay, L. I'm having a hard time remembering because I can't believe we're this far along. I mean, isn't M halfway? H, I, J, K, L, M. Did I forget a letter? That would be a nightmare. Okay, so we're into kind of a new look with the letter. This will be helpful to remember when we connect words later. It's kind of like the I and stuff where you're adding the intro, but you get to choose how it's going to look, okay? So I'm going to show you a little bit of the connecting just so that you guys can practice how you're going to want it to look, because you do have to think ahead while you're writing. How am I going to connect these letters? So we've got an M, okay? So we can start it with a hump like that, or no hump. So these are the two intros. This is where then I'll add the other two humps. It's without cursive or lettering. It would just be a line, right? So these are the two choices you'll have for M and N. Really, I don't know. I like it a bunch of different ways. I change it up sometimes. Or again, you don't have to make it connect to M's. Your M's can stand alone or only connect on the back end. So M's, because there's this line and two humps, three parts, if you will, you can get really crazy with how it looks, and it really makes a big difference. So let's start with this intro here with the first hump down. Let's make the first hump taller than the second. Again, you can start down here where it ended, and the second hump is a little smaller. Let's try where they're even with a hump to start. There we go. There, they're even. Beautiful. Now let's start with this kind. So we're going to come in straight down. Then let's do a smaller and a bigger. See the difference? Isn't it fun? But my favorite that I've been doing a lot lately with the cash, keeping the M's cash, I do big all the way back down, and I don't I usually stay down on the pen, okay? So imagine my pen's still down. I don't have a square ending here because I just kind of do a tiny jump. You see the difference there? Here we stopped and went back down and it's more of a squared off bottom. Here we stay and we make it a squiggle instead of the stop and start. So look at all those different M's. That's a huge difference with just a tiny tweak. Okay, again, same with the ends. We can start with a hump, up to the top and back down. Traditional. We can start with a hump, go all the way up, a little angle sass and below the line. We can do it like this and come nowhere near the bottom. Love it. Okay, so now with the O's, this is another one. You think O is a circle. Why? How could I change it up? Well, O's, you can get crazy with the O's based on the top and how you plan on connecting it to the next letter. So we can do it. You can start here at the midline, go around and do a regular size loop there like that. You can start over here a little more and do no loop if you don't want to. But one of my favorites for sure, I start lower than the midline and I love a big loop. So I started lower than the midline and when I came back down and around, I passed the top of the beginning. Let me show that one to you guys again. So below the midline, up, across, and like that. Ta-da! O's. Ooh. Okay. Now some P's. P's. Spell it with your P's. Ooh, what word is it? What movie is that from? You get a bonus point if you know what that's from. Okay, so P's is like, remember J's and stuff. We go down, so you want to make space so that later when you letter, you can letter another P between each one's tail. Okay, so P's are another one that you can really change up. So the bottom can be a loop like this. Looks like a J, but then you're going to come back and put the little top and another loop for when you're going to connect the P later. Or you can make it crazier, bigger. You can make this part smaller. That's fun. Ooh. I'm a very asymmetrical person. Are you symmetrical or asymmetrical? I love when things are not quite balanced. It's just my style. I like odd numbers. I like all that stuff. So, okay. Also, more casual one, you can just do the line and then you pull away and you can make the top bigger. Again, you see the difference here, here and here. You see the difference? I hope you do. I hope I'm a good teacher. Okay, so you can really see the difference, the pop, the pizzazz, and the P's if you change up where you start, stop, and continue on. O-P-Q, oh my gosh, the one you'll never use. Okay, so Q is a lot like P, only you're gonna start with the hump and then you're gonna do the back end next, okay? So it's like the circle like an A, whoop, and then you're gonna go down. You can make this itty bitty and then keep going for your inevitable U, or you can make it even more circular. You could come back up to the baseline and go on to the U. You can make it teeny tiny and make that the big part. Q's, a letter you'll never use. Okay, so, or very rarely. I hope you guys really get the hang of it if you use the Q's a lot. Okay, so now for a capital K. Let's go back to the K. So you can make it fancy again with the starting little tail. This is where my balance kind of gets off with a capital K. I usually am inclined to make both sides even and then I don't like it. So let's make this a little smaller. There we go, that's a little better. Or you can just do kind of a big version of the casual one. Cute. Or what else can we do? Oh, we can go a loop past like that. That's fun. Now with L's, a traditional L in cursive, you start up at the top line, you do a tiny loop, come down at an angle, another loop, and up like that. You can do no top loop, like that. You can make them you can make them bigger. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, now with the M, I like to make the little M's big M's. You won't need the hump because it's a capital, so it's not connecting to anything at the beginning. So I like to go just like this, and then I go all the way to the top, back down a little squiggle, like that. Cute. Or you can try more fancy. Remember, with the M, it's thick or thin depending on which way you go. So this way I went down first, this way I went up first, so it's thinner. And then you could go thick, a little curve, thin, thick. Ooh, that's a funky M. I don't like you. You could also make a little loop here. That'll be cute. And again with the N, same thing. I like to just do a lowercase n, wee, with some spunk. There we go. Or you can kind of do up, N. Cute. Okay. O's are basically the same. You just have a bigger version. So you can do, you can start here. You can go around and do traditional loop. You can just go like this, which would look funny. Or you could do it like like a little O with a big fatty loop like this. There we go. P's are next. We can go like this. More traditional shape of the loop. You can go like this. Just like that casual one. Oops, I'm smearing a little. Or I think those are good. What else can you do? I guess you can kind of do a loop on the bottom, but I feel like that would be a bit much. Let's see. Not bad. There you go. Okay, and now a Q. I know that the capital Q is a 2, right? In cursive? It's like this or something. Interesting. Instead of like this, like the number 2, we can close it off and make it look a little fancier. So let's try that. We'll go like this, a circle, and then we can go around for the Q. You can do it like this. Ooh, I did backwards. That's weird. Let's do it like this. Like this. Ta-da! A Q. Okay, so there are the letters for today, for this lesson. Be sure to check out the lesson before this, 2 videos today, and then next week I will be ahead of you again so you guys can see it before you do it. Thank you so much for lettering with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.